Hello again, everyone. I'm Dr. Kendo, and I just wanted to quickly talk about the quick tease of a new Mario platform game, which was definitely a welcome surprise for many viewers, I would imagine, in the Nintendo Switch preview trailer today. In some respects, very little can be said about it at this point, and even just these short, little tiny snippets of clips actually did kind of reveal some things that we can derive from them. So I just wanted to analyze that real quick, hopefully so that you can catch any of these things if you've missed any of them. Again, just about the Mario platformer game that was being played on the Nintendo Switch preview trailer. It does seem to be similar to Super Mario 64, Mario Galaxy, and/or Mario Sunshine. We will have to wait and see, of course, but there are a few things that we can determine from this very small set of clips. There are pretty much 2 or 3 main clips that we can look at for this Mario platformer game, and this first one shows a desert cactus town almost with a Samba de Amigo, or a Mexican flair to it. Notice, first off, before anything else, on our left side there's a yellow umbrella that appears to have a table or board or just something at the base of it, but above the umbrella is 3 spinning purple arrows that have a shimmer as they turn, basically implying a point of interest or perhaps at least something that you can interact with in some way. And then there's a little character dancing near the bench and signpost on the right side who basically appears to be a green skull character wearing a sombrero. But then if you look to the left against the blue part of the building there on the corner of this pathway that Mario is traveling on, it looks to be kind of a pastel purple skull figure wearing a sombrero and dancing around, both with maracas. And my first reaction to everything was that maybe these were cactus people, but the reason that I believe their faces are actually skulls is due to the art on the side of that building to the left here. It's a skull wearing the sombrero and what looks like flowers on either side of it. Then I noticed during a few quick frames of the one dancing to the right side, the head becomes detached from the body as he flails himself all around. So it seems that these are skeletal beings of some sort, and the animation of their dancing has their heads coming off at one point and then looping, so it happens again and again. It should also be noted, of course, that the game just looks beautiful, even just from these few quick clips. The processing and graphical power of the Nintendo Switch should obviously be better than all previous Nintendo consoles, and perhaps one more piece of evidence for that is even just seeing the particles of what I guess is sand or just artistic pieces of wind, basically, that are flowing towards Mario as he rushes forward, but they are all around. And shifting gears here, one thing that we can see in the next clip with the Bullet Bill seeking Mario out as he leaps forward closer to it is on the sides and all around are these perhaps mirages. They look either like an almost completely transparent mirage of mountains or perhaps they're mirages of glaciers, but in a desert. Obviously they must be connected towards some game mechanic or aspect of the game's story and environment. We actually might catch a glimpse at them in the first Mario game clip too, as we may see the very edge of one to the right at the start of it, and then some of the mountainous looking ones in the far background of the horizon after the middle pathway that Mario is running through. They actually appear to have steam around them or some sort of ethereal vapor, which leads me more towards some kind of icy structure of some sort. But okay, now back to the Bullet Bill clip. We notice that Mario does his signature long jump, as the very beginning of this clip actually is him crouching for the duration of almost 1 or 2 frames and then launching forward for the long jump. And of course, I'm sure all of you noticed him put his hands out to the side like a gymnast or just to keep balance upon landing and running. And then of course there are a few yellow rings before him where Mario would then be pressing on to. But notice real quick in the sand below and off to the right, near the start of the clip, there's some kind of rustling in the sand that indicates some movement by what I can only assume is going to be an enemy of some kind. Perhaps with the cactus theme, maybe it's some kind of cactus enemy or a variation of piranha plant that will come up if you're standing above it at any point when jumping across the platforms. Those are all just random guesses, of course, but you'll also notice on the same right side, then up near the top, on the land above, there's a heart spinning around up there. This really leads me to believe that Mario's health is most like Super Mario 64 maybe, where the pieces of the pie would be taken away from his overall health meter when he's hit, but a heart could replenish some or all of the pie pieces once he picks that up. And take notice also that those particles showing which way the wind is blowing are here too. But wait, before we leave all of that, it does appear that real quick, it would actually be easy to miss. But notice that the Bullet Bill seems to have missed Mario here in the clip of the woman picking up the Nintendo Switch Switch console, and with the bullet bill off its original course of seeking Mario, is now kind of heading in the direction that enemy was, where it was rustling around in the sand, because we can now see it arising from out of the sand below and breaching to show itself. But the bullet bill is either heading straight for it, and you can obviously see the fiery glow at the end of its trail before it subsequently would either make impact with the enemy, or it would turn back around coming for Mario again. And both of those scenarios we don't really see in this small clip before the camera moves away, but those are two possible things that could happen. You know, it could be a mechanic of you're supposed to dodge the bullet bill and then it hits the enemy, or just something like that. All in all, again, it was such a short amount of clips that could only take possibly about 10 seconds if you combine them all, but you can still see all of that just by analyzing a few various things. There were also coins up ahead, as we saw before during that bullet bill sequence. 3 coins kind of on our left side stacked up, but then there was more coins in the middle and to the right. And of course the lens flare from the sun beaming overhead. It all just looks good. Hopefully everybody's excited for that. And I personally am gonna try to probably examine other parts of the Nintendo Switch trailer or the whole thing itself, but I just thought it was worth it to talk about this new Mario game, as they really just kind of like slipped that in there and then let it go without talking about it at all. So hopefully you learned something new, and I will catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.